Oh yeah, Tuesdays are our interview and strategy sessions. So busy day, busy, busy, busy. Puerto
Good.
Rico is wonderful, wonderful weather. Everything's back to normal. Nothing really to complain about, which is kind of how I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. I was there. I met you on an Epic call with Isaac, and there's a bunch of us on the call, obviously. So but that's where I got introduced to you. But they were talking a little bit about Puerto Rico, and I went to the West Coast over
Rincon.
break in March. I went to the Northwest and went surfing, but I haven't been to where you are yet. I'd like to go sometime.
Yeah,
Check it out. Yeah.
Rincon. That's the spot over there for surfing. That's where.
Where I was, yeah, yeah, in that area. Well, I hopefully got my IT person that's going to
Yeah.
join us. Is that okay? So,
Just hopped on right there. And just to let you know, I do record all of these because I don't have time to do strategy sessions with everybody. So a lot
sure.
of times it's easier to just record these. And if there's good teaching information, we use that. So
Yeah, great.
cool. Heather, are you with us? Can you hear
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, I'm in. Hi. Good morning.
Hi, Heather. Nice to meet you. I'm Mark.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
All right.
So,
So Roger, let's jump in there. What do we need to cover today? What can I help you with?
well, really just want to kind of get an overview view to make sure that we're going to use the software to the most advantage we can.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you've done numerous summits, and you've got all this experience. So we want to make sure that when we do this first summit, we do it in a way that we're going to get the most out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So are there some, we're going to do it on fibromyalgia, which is a little bit broad. We probably could niche that down some. But that's what, that's my niche is fibromyalgia, and that's going to be in October.
Okay.
So I'd like to talk to you, a little bit about that. And then I wanted to ask you about another summit I'm thinking about doing in January. Just kind of get you just a big picture about that one real quickly.
Absolutely. So you're definitely right. You're going to want to niche down the topic. So typically, we have two types of topics. You have like a success-based topic, like title, I guess, or a fear-based or like pain-based title or topic. We always see like the fear or pain-based ones always convert better. And my biggest thing with summits that I'm always trying to hound to people, I guess my first thing would be you have to niche down the topic because, like, for example, perfect case study. I did a summit and I called it the World Posture Summit, right? And the title was also, so that was the title of the summit, but I would also categorize that as the theme. Then the specific title or subtitle was move better, live better, feel better, which sounds good, right? The
Right.
problem is anybody looking at that goes, oh, that sounds good, but I already know all of that information. No need to opt in. So
Right.
our conversion rates was not nearly as good as what I'm used to. I'm used to 30, 40, 45% opt-in rates, and that one was down in the 20s. So definitely want to go very specific, and you want to be at around a pain or a struggle. So the way I always say to start off with your virtual summit is thinking about the end in mind. Okay. And the end is not the end of the virtual summit. It's what are you going to do after the summit, right?
Right.
So you
Right.
got to start off your unique expert position. You already got that. It's in fibromyalgia. Okay. Now it's to figure out that kind of pain topic. You go with what's your audience's number one problem. Okay. And if you don't know what their number one problem is, what's one of their top three problems? And the reason for this is crucial, especially later on. And I'll get to that in a second, but essentially that's what you're going to theme out your summit around, right? Because that's their number one problem. So that's the people you want anyways. You don't want people that have, just headaches. You want people that have fibromyalgia because that's where you're going to be able to really help them and then convert them later on into customers or clients. So once you have that pain point, that's going to be essentially what you'll end up building your kind of theme around. You can have differentiating categories in your summit. So it doesn't, even though that this is like your title or whatever, it doesn't mean that every topic has to be on that. You can separate those with categories.
Expand out. Yeah.
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 So that's the first step right there with to make sure you kick it off as a success. Otherwise, people look at it and they go, oh, that's cool, fibromyalgia or whatever, maybe like, living better, let's just say. And like, oh, okay, cool, living better. He's probably going to tell me to eat better, move better. They already know the information, so then they don't get to it. We want to look for the people that have that problem, and they're going to connect with it, and they're looking for that answer right now. That's what's going to increase your opt-in rates. The other reason this is super crucial with the end in mind is, let's say, I'm just going to use an off-the-wall example here, but let's say, Bitcoin, blockchain, all the cryptocurrency is big right now. So I'm going to go do a big cryptocurrency summit because everybody wants that information. Maybe I get 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever people to opt in for it. But I'm not a cryptocurrency teacher. What am I going to do with that afterwards? So a lot of times, and this isn't necessarily you, but a lot of times newer entrepreneurs that are kind of getting their online business going, they're still trying to figure out their path. They'll do something based on what sounds good at the moment. And before they know it, they have a business built out this way. And it's like, wait, my passion's over here. I don't want to be busy, doing cryptocurrency. I want to be here. So the third point to this, and this is actually the part that's going to make the most sense as far as financially, excuse me, is when it's aligned with the number one with your unique expert position, the number one problem your avatar, your customer base has. After the summit's over, I call it the hustle funnel, but it's essentially it's what an online business platform is. You have the top of your funnel, which I call the magnetize, which we use virtual summits. So this is a really high value, low risk opportunity to get people into your community to get that know, like, and trust. Now, I say that summits are really, really powerful in generating interest and motivation and excitement to solve a problem. But they're not really good at solving a problem, because when you got 30 different people telling you what to do, it's like, what do I do? So what they're looking for right after that summit, which is what I call the monetization phase, they're looking for a single step-by-step solution to that problem. So that's where like an info course or a digital course or info product, something like that would come into play. So you go from the summit to that product. Now, if this is what your UEP is built on, it's going to be no problem, right? It's aligned. What I'll end up seeing is people try and Frankenstein it. They'll do a summit on, let's say copywriting, and then they'll try and sell a course on online courses. Okay, some people might buy it, but it's not as aligned as it should be. Because then the third step after we go from summit, which is our magnetize. Actually, I'm going to show you this because it's probably, if you're like me, I'm a visual person. I like to see stuff. So I'll just show this to you because probably make a little bit more sense. Okay. And then I'm going to share my screen here. Cool. All right. So this is the hustle funnel. So again, it's not really a funnel. It's more of an online. This is like an online business. This is the platform. So we've got that magnetize step at the beginning, which is your summit. That's the most powerful one. Obviously, you could use like webinars or lead magnets or things like that. They're just not as effective or powerful. The next step, we take them from that summit into the monetization step, which is going to be that single step-by-step solution to their problem. And this, we're talking like, 1 to 3 hours, right? Course. We're not talking about a huge thing. This is going to be a medium price point product. And then after that is when we go into our high ticket offer, which is like our transformation steps. So this could be one-on-one coaching, group coaching. This could be a live event or a transformational, like for example, we in the American Posture Institute, one of my businesses, we use certifications. That's our transformation. Once you finish it, you're certified XXX. So that's your high ticket. And then from there, you put them into a membership. Now, the reason I always go to this, because most people will spend a lot of time and energy building out the summit, but then it doesn't flow with the back end, and it's kind of a waste. I mean, it's not a waste because you have the leads, but you could maximize the benefits from your summit way more when you have the strategy in mind like this. So does that kind of make sense a little bit with that?
It does. I've got a question. Do you go from the summit and then you're going to market in your trickle email campaigns the course?
Yep.
And then then you'll have people move on up to the high ticket. Do you ever jump from the summit and see in your marketing that people will just skip the course and go right to high ticket?
It's very, very tempting to do that. Trust me, I always want to do it myself, and everybody always wants to go from summit to high ticket. But you have to remember, we're talking about, like, I like to focus on human psychology, the buyer mentality, right? So they've done a summit with you. They've built a little know, like, and trust. And of course, some people would buy your high ticket, right? But most of those people are like, whoa, dude, we just had our first date. Like, I'm not going straight in for marriage yet. You got to give me a little something. And that's why this flow works. So essentially, that online course, you're solving that one problem. Once you've solved that problem, they're like, dude, whatever you have, I'm buying. So you're not actually going to lose out. Like, because a lot of times people will think, well, I'm going to lose out because it's going to take time and I'll lose out on money if I don't go straight into the high ticket. It's the opposite. You'll have more people end up buying your high ticket because they are going to have more people willing to spend a lesser amount to get to know you, and then they'll be converted for your high ticket. So my timeline typically, and this is not like you could change this however you want, but I go from a summit to 10 days later, I will launch my course, my smaller course. So it's like, if we're talking prices here, like on a typical summit, depending on your audience, but the summits are priced typically anywhere from about $50 all the way up to $500 with the all access pass, right? Like, the summit's free to attend, but if you want to get, the videos afterwards, or if you miss something, etc., you have your all access pass. So I'll just give you an example of my summit that I did in the American Posture Institute to healthcare professionals. We had the problem was healthcare professionals knowing how to help their patients who have chronic pain. So the title of the name of the summit is Virtual Neurology Summit. The title was Brain-Based Solutions for Chronic Pain. So very specific. They knew, like, they were looking for getting solutions for chronic pain. That summit, the price was $200 for the all access pass. 10 days later, I launched that step-by-step course, which was Advanced Chronic Pain Solutions. Right on topic, right? Brain-based solutions for chronic pain, advanced chronic pain solutions. So dead on topic, $350. So I always recommend going 50% to 100% more than whatever you charge for your summit is what you're going to charge for that next course. And I'll just insert this here. If the problem is, well, I have high ticket and I can do I'm working on a summit, but I don't have this middle part, you can turn your summit into a course very easily. So if that's an issue, just remind me and I can come back to that. So, and then after the online course, I usually go 2 to 3 weeks. One, I want to give them a little bit of time to finish this course, plus to continue to do nurture. And then I do my high ticket, my transformation. So if I've solved their problem, that single problem, now everything's possible, right? That high ticket is a transformation. Now we're going to give them an aspirational identity, transform them. And at this point is where I will launch that high ticket offer. There, I usually, the price ranges are, $1,000 to $5,000 are most common. I mean, but you could, there's people that do $25,000 high tickets. So it's kind of what's for you. My price point was the $2,000 certification. And then I will launch the membership as a sale right then for anybody who buys the high ticket. But I also I will launch it to everybody about 1 to 3 weeks later. Just depends on the price point and the audience. So the reason I say this is with that right there, you maximize every ounce of one, building your community, building raving fans, getting that know, like, and trust, but the monetization aspect, as well as an online core or online business. Because a lot of times, and I don't really know your journey, you may have all of this down, but a lot of times as like online entrepreneurs, when we get started and stuff, we build out 1 or 2 things, but we don't really have all of it. And it's really difficult to scale later on if we don't have all of that. So anyways, that's kind of the overview. I can go into any specific questions you have from there.
Yeah, so a couple questions. One is, when you're marketing after this is over with and you're selling them this smaller little course that you have, once you've marketed that, do you then go back to the broad audience that have opted in and you continue, but eventually do you just switch over to trying to get high ticket, or do you have them in they're sequestered in Infusionsoft to where your marketing is.
Well, everybody's tagged, but honestly, every single person who opts in for the summit is going to get the offer for the course and the offer for the high ticket and the offer for the membership. Because like everybody has different things they enjoy or they want,
right.
something, they all get it.
Right. So we have this set up now. I mean, we have an online group coaching program that's an 8-week program, and then we have a couple of small little things. What we would need to do is take the small little things, and that would be what we'd offer. And then the group coaching program either offer that, which is only $597. So we probably need to raise that price on that. And then also we would have another where they could go up, a little bit higher would be one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could build this out. I mean, that's a great model. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I was going to say we have all of these things already in place. I think the thing is just the recipe to maximize on conversion, like on in as far as like interval release and like what possibly if you have like some sort of an interval funnel or something that you recommend as far as the increase from course to high ticket to membership, because we've got several courses. We definitely have a high ticket and we definitely already have all of these pieces. So we wouldn't be somebody who wouldn't have that already ready to be put together.
Well,
we have
good to go. Yeah.
It's just a matter of the layout.
So the layout, honestly, so the virtual summit software takes care of the magnetize step for the summit. After that, your courses, like for example, I host my courses on Thinkific. So the communication is via email. The purchase is through whatever, sales page, or, if you're using your website, or maybe you're using, WordPress or ClickFunnels or whatever you're using, that's your sales page. Your courses are going to be hosted on a course platform. Obviously, the Summit software is not a course platform. It's a Summit platform. I recommend Thinkific. There is, there's all kinds of course platforms, or you could build them out. If you've already got your courses, I'm assuming you probably already have a course platform. So the only thing you're missing is just the email sequences in between. And that does not need to be complicated or difficult, honestly.
And maybe what we need to do is move, because we don't currently use course platform. What we have is you basically buy the sleep course, or for example, one of them is a sleep program. And when you purchase that, it gives you membership access to like a back-end membership site that includes like 7 products that you get when you buy this course. And it goes through like a report, like a lead flow guide, there's videos, there's audios, there's all kinds of stuff. So basically you just get a login, but maybe we could look at
that. Would be ideal for later. I would definitely say don't make it more difficult for yourself right at this moment. Just getting started is better than nothing. If you've got something that's working, use that. And then you can improve it as you have people going through and you've got the income coming through and things like that. I mean, because that's the next step. This is what I call, the first step is what I usually call summits for side hustlers. And then we go into summits for scalers, because the next thing is optimization and automation. So right now you just got to get this laid out, and then you can focus on improving it and doing it. And then you'll notice the Ever Summit part here is you may not have noticed with the software, this is a newer feature. I haven't even pushed it hard yet. We haven't even put it out on the website. But our Summit software has an Ever Summit feature, which means after your summit's over, you can decide whether you want it to be weekly, twice a month, or once a month, and it will rerun that summit automated, ongoing, forever. And of course, it takes care of everything as far as, it refreshes the landing page, it cookies everybody that's been through it so they can't come back into it and rewatch it, and automates all the messages and things like that. So that's one of the reasons I love summits, both like a full virtual summit, and then I do a lot of one-day summits. Because after it's done, it's not over, it's ongoing. Because, with virtual summits, you put a lot of energy and effort into it, and you really can't advertise a summit too far out because there's not enough urgency. Like about 4 weeks is about the maximum out you're really going to advertise it to get really, to make it worth the ad spend. And so there's not a whole lot of time to optimize it, but then afterwards it keeps going so that those ads continue to go. So that's another feature we have with the Virtual Summit software.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other specific questions?
What do you recommend with dealing with the affiliates? I mean, any tips for that? I mean, I feel good about all this and the funnels but doing the first, but is there anything you'd share with me about how to manage everybody?
So if you have your own affiliate software, then you got that squared off. I typically, with the Virtual Summit software, I recommend iDev Affiliate because it's relatively inexpensive, and I use it for all my summits, so I know 1,000% integrates and works with the software. As far as my thought process on this is, yes, it's great to have affiliates and you want all of your speakers to promote. The one thing that I tell everybody is do not require them to do it, because that's one of the things that's kind of given summits a little bit of a bad name, is a lot of these influencers are being asked to speak on their summit and they're saying, great, all you have to do now is email your list 5 times. And they're like, no, thank you, but no. So what I do, and this works, you'd be surprised at how much more effective it works, is I go in saying, you do not need to promote at all. Like, there's no promotion necessary. And so I get them into it. And then I continue to say, like, look, there's no promotions required. I say it so much that they're almost like, man, I really feel like I should actually promote them because they're so adamant about not having to. But then I provide them with everything they need: affiliate links, their material, the swipe copy, email, both email and social media. And then I say, look, promotion is not required, but it's absolutely appreciated. Here's here's our promotional calendar. We'd love for you to share some information if you're up for it. And almost everybody will share stuff on social media. The ones that want the money are going to share are going to be the ones that are going to be emailing anyways. So my strategy is go in there more with a kill them with kindness and don't require it, because in reality, if they're decent sized people, or if they're attributed to a category of people, you can just target them on like Facebook ads anyways. You don't necessarily need their list. You can target them, target their communities, target that category of people. Yeah, and that typically works out. But as far, definitely go into it having everything prepared and everything ready for them. Like, if they have to do anything, your chances of them promoting drops dramatically.
Great. Okay, good. And typically it's a 50% split on the cost
for a summit.
The summit?
Yeah, on a summit I do 50%. Like, for example, a virtual summit, because it is, you want to get these people to promote for you, so giving them a benefit is gets that. Like, that's an incentive for them. If I was doing a live course, it would be 40%. And if I was doing like an automated course, it'd be 20 to 30%. However, with this Ever Summit feature, and if you have the hustle funnel like laid out, I will then, because again, with the Ever Summit feature, this thing's live forever, right? So what I will do is I'll reach out to affiliates, not necessarily just speakers, but people that my summit is valuable to their audiences. And I'll say, hey, I'll give you an affiliate link for this, and I'll give you 100% commission. And because of the Ever Summit feature, you don't have to bash it right now. They can put it into their nurture sequence. They can do like once a quarter. And because I'm giving them 100% commission, these affiliates are like, you're my hero. Like, you're the best guy ever, because I'm giving them 100% commission. But I'm okay with that because I know I'm going to monetize on the back end. So they're filling up my funnel and I'm making the money on the back end, and these affiliates are getting the money on the front end. And it's like this win-win scenario. And then they'll go to bat for you on anything you want to do later on down the road.
Right. Last question. I know we got to wrap up. This is broad, so you should really probably know what the answer is. So I'm developing a weight loss program that really will be a lead into a whole lifestyle brand. And my thought was the people that are going to be with me on this have a big influence in women's health. And so I was thinking of doing a women's health summit in January. I know it's way, way broad, but the idea was really to bring this crowd in. And then you got to realize that probably 30% or more are dieting. I mean, so is that too broad to women's health? I mean, it is, I know, but
it's definitely too broad. And you got to, and I mean this with full love and stuff, right? But like a person's first impression, if you're doing a women's health summit and it's a male host, I have some discongruency with that. Like just from the beginning.
It'd be a female. It'd be a female. I mean, we would do it we'd be doing it together.
Okay. But what I'm saying is you could still like the end goal can still be the same. But if you're niching down into something specific with women's health, then it makes perfect sense because you could be an expert at this one thing inside of women's health. Like I'm just using this for lack of better, but like, let's say we're talking about hormone imbalances or thyroid dysfunction, or cortisol levels, whatever. If you're doing a specific summit on this, there's two reasons for this. One, it's attracting the person with the problem, right? And it's aligned. You could be the expert at that. And that's why you're talking about this. So it doesn't matter, women, male, whatever. The other part is when you're looking for speakers, it's going to be a lot easier to see who's going to be a good person for this summit to speak on it. Because I should have said this at the beginning. The biggest mistake you can do with a summit is have people just give blah information, like an interview. If you're just doing an interview, like that's the biggest kind of summit killer there is. You need to make sure that.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you that. So when we line up these 24, 30 people, whatever, it's going to be a combination of interviews and then what else would it be? PowerPoints or webinars or
presentations? Yeah. Like, so now I get it for your first summit, you want to smash it, right? You want it to be all out, be out. Like I run 6 summits almost per company and they're just
learning experience. I want to do
well. What I'm saying is once you get through that and like you've had that kind of one, now you're going to see the power of it and you're going to have like a little bit less attached to it. It's just more about, having them going. And then you'll put a little bit like, so for example, what I'm saying is when I run my summits, like with the American Posture Institute, I just do presentations. And so that reduces all of the time it would have taken me to interview all of those speakers. Right. So I can run a summit with the software and a presentation based summit and spend about 5 to 6 hours. And I have per summit. Right? Like that's nothing. I have a staff member that takes care of the email communications, things like that. And the only thing with that, you'll need to recruit more speakers because you're going to get more no's than yeses because it's more difficult for them, right? It's more time consuming. But the audience satisfaction and the value perception of that is far superior than an interview. Now, definitely for the first one, do a hybrid, do some interviews, some presentations, but you just tell the person, to either submit a presentation or you can actually do a hybrid interview presentation, which is, hey, I'm going to interview you, but the audience doesn't want to hear from me. They want to hear from you. So I'm going to intro you and stuff, but I would like you to give a step-by-step solution or strategy for this topic. And I'm just going to let you teach that. And then we'll wrap it up at the end. That's a pretty easy kind of like give and take with it. Like you'll get a lot more yeses from that. I do that on my accelerators, for example. But yeah, that's going to be like, if it is an interview, put a lot of thought behind it to make sure that you're setting that speaker up to deliver really good kind of strategic or implementable value. Okay, because people get interviews everywhere, right? They don't want to sit down for 30 hours of interviews. They want to get some really good help, good value.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great, Mark. Awesome, man.
Absolutely. Any last couple? I'll give you.
I did have one. Just because you said we need to pare down the title, and my one quick question would be that I feel like just being with the focus being fibromyalgia, I know that's a huge buzz community. So I'm wondering, when you title these summits, can you have a title and subtitle, like something so we're like overcome fibromyalgia, and then the subtitle is like start sleeping, stop hurting, start living or something like that. So we
Yeah.
can focus on sleep, pain, and something else, but we still have the buzzword of the overcoming fibromyalgia naturally or something.
Yeah, you can do like the name of the summit, like, you know, like fibromyalgia summit, and do fibromyalgiasummit.com, whatever. It's going to be that title, like or subtitle, I guess.
Okay.
That's going to be the most important thing, because they're going to go, oh, okay, that's cool. But now you've got to really grab them and pull them in. So that subtitle, again, I would make it more problem specific. Like, pain and curiosity, those are your two things. If you're giving solutions like live better, feel better, move, then they're like, okay, I need to live better, move better. Got it. I got all the information I need from the title. I don't need the summit now. But you want to either pique curiosity or hyper kind of accent the pain point that they have. So they go, oh, I have that problem and I can't find the solution. Maybe this is where I can finally get that solution. So an example would be more like, are you like, you know, can't sleep, pain every day, that blah, 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 you know, like whatever the next problem is, join, you know, attend this summit. And then in your video, so it kind of like, it goes from one to the other, right? You got the overarching name of the summit, which is just going to like kind of give them a clue at what's going on. That title is really going to be there to like aggravate that problem, that pain point where they go, oh yeah, like I'm dealing with that right now. And then your welcome video is where you're going to really take them on that journey. And that's going to like, again, highlight what they don't know. You want them to be thinking like, I have that problem. Because the biggest thing that like this works, this is the same thing with like landing pages and registration pages. If you give them all the information on that, and you know, most of us think to do that, like I'm going to put everything we're going to cover in this webinar, for example. They read it and they go, okay, yep, I got that. I got that. I got that. Now I don't need to opt in for it. You need to increase curiosity and let them know the answers are going to be inside, not give them the answers before they get inside. If that makes sense.
It makes total sense. So step-by-step protocols for pain, for natural protocols, for okay, great.
And have a good solid why in you know, like you know, which you already have or you wouldn't be doing this, but make sure you bring that out in your video, in your video. And just another little kind of pro tip that will help increase conversions also for buying, like the sales conversions, is once they get in, you're gonna want to have like a pre-summit email communication. A lot of times, I mean, once it gets closer to the summit, you definitely want to be pushing towards like sales and stuff. So you do like an early bird special that you can get it at this time. Right now, you can get it at this price.
Right.
Once the summit goes live, usually I do it a day before the summit goes live. Once this is over, you could also do a couple just little strategies. Is during the summit, we do diminishing bonuses. So if you're doing like 3 or 4 or 5 days worth of summit, like if they upgrade on the first day, they get all 3 bonuses. And I'm not talking about the normal summit bonuses that you're going to have once they upgrade. I'm talking like additional. These 3 bonuses are like, right now, if you upgrade on day 1, you get all 3. If you upgrade on day 2, you only get 2. If you upgrade on day 3, you only get 1. And then if you upgrade after that, you just get what's already in the upgrade package. But the thing to really do to warm them up is pre-summit is create some other videos of you like and going over the why, going over case studies. Social proof is huge. Having them see things you've done with other patients or clients already. So get them already building that know, like, and trust and anticipation of the summit. It will increase your sales conversions during the summit.
Great.
Cool.
Great. Mark, thanks for your time, man. This is great.
Absolutely. Well, once you start digging in there, if you have other questions, we can set up another call later. Also, I've got that Hustle and Scale community. So I'm in there every day. If you have questions, like easy questions, you can just throw them in there. You too, Heather, you're welcome to join.
I already did.
Awesome. Okay, great. And then Rodger, I'm not sure if you had access to it, because I actually just released this a couple weeks ago, but I created an entire kind of virtual summit academy, a virtual summit software academy So it essentially goes through every aspect of the software. So if you,
I already did that too.
Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to put that out because that was a newer thing that I put out to kind of help people that were like, maybe had questions with the software. So hopefully that helps out there too.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, guys.
Well done.
I super appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to your guys' summit. I'm sure you're going to rock it. Once you get closer to it, send me the details. I'll put it out on our virtual summits page and promote it as well.
Thanks, Mark. Have an awesome day, man.
All right. You guys too. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.